Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 U.S. presidential election and his return to the White House stand as one of the most remarkable political comebacks in American history. Not only did Trump reclaim the presidency, but he also forged a new political alliance that secured him a decisive win under exceptionally challenging circumstances. This achievement is extraordinary, as only one other U.S. president, Grover Cleveland in 1892, managed to regain the presidency after losing it, a feat last accomplished 130 years ago. Notably, neither Jimmy Carter in 1981, despite his historic Camp David Accords and Nobel Peace Prize, nor George H.W. Bush in 1993, following his success in the Gulf War, attempted similar comebacks. Trump's victory is especially significant given the institutional and media opposition he faced. The American media consistently downplayed his achievements and skewed his statements. Moreover, Trump endured multiple legal battles, including 2 impeachment trials during his presidency and 4 major lawsuits after leaving office. He was even charged with 34 counts of financial fraud in New York, not for embezzlement, but for alleged efforts to protect his public image. Despite these challenges, Trump effectively portrayed himself as a victim of judicial bias, earning sympathy from voters. His resilience was further bolstered by surviving 2 assassination attempts in July and September 2023, highlighting concerns over his security. Several factors contributed to Trump's success over his competitor, Kamala Harris. Key among them was his focus on issues affecting everyday Americans, including unemployment, inflation, and wages. He reminded voters of the record-low unemployment and inflation rates during his presidency and highlighted his contributions to improving the living standards of African Americans. Trump also energized voters with his stance on immigration, pointing out the entry of 5 million undocumented immigrants during President Biden's tenure. He claimed these immigrants not only took jobs from Americans, but also brought drugs and crime, appealing to nationalistic sentiments. Interestingly, his policies on immigration also gained traction among Latino Americans, who resonated with his focus on job protection and combating inflation. Moreover, Trump successfully courted conservative Christian voters, despite his personal controversies. His anti-abortion stance and advocacy for federal intervention to restrict abortion galvanized support among religious groups. Additionally, his party's extensive voter registration efforts over the past 3 years ensured a strong Republican turnout, helping the party regain control of both the Senate and the House of Representatives. This Republican majority promises smoother governance and greater support for Trump's key policy initiatives, including budget reforms, border security, and foreign affairs. At the heart of Trump's success lies his unyielding determination. He refuses to accept failure, showing strength and counterattacking even when on the defensive, principles he honed during his early business career in New York. Looking ahead, Trump is expected to prioritize domestic policies such as completing the U.S.-Mexico border wall and renegotiating trade agreements. On the international stage, his approach to the Middle East might focus on de-escalation and avoiding direct involvement, especially regarding Iran and conflicts in Gaza, while emphasizing U.S. interests in the Ukraine war and global trade. Ultimately, Trump's victory marks a shift toward a new era of American politics, characterized by a stronger focus on domestic priorities and immediate national interests. Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election stemmed from a combination of political, social, and economic factors that built a strong foundation of support. Trump focused his rhetoric on issues that resonated with the working and middle classes, such as job losses due to globalization and illegal immigration. He employed straightforward and direct language to express public frustration with traditional political elites, positioning himself as an outsider, critical of the status quo, and promising radical change. This strategy capitalized on widespread dissatisfaction with political institutions perceived as unrepresentative. Trump maintained a strong media presence through his controversial statements and his previous appearances on television programs. He also leveraged social media, particularly Twitter, to communicate directly with voters and disseminate his messages. His campaign emphasized contentious issues like immigration and the construction of a border wall with Mexico, capturing the attention of those supporting stricter immigration policies. He also exploited security concerns and fears of terrorism to bolster his America First agenda. Trump pledged to bring jobs back to the U.S. by reforming trade agreements and boosting domestic